Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you're having a good one. What's good, what's good, what's good? So yeah, we have a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Tonight's an interesting night. It's a very interesting night. We got GDP numbers. They weren't so good. People started crying. It's not my economy. Markets took a hit. Here's the thing though. To be expected, no? To be expected. This is a direct result, right, of the tariffs. So when I look at this, I'm kind of like, nobody should be surprised, right? Should not be surprised at all. Next week, I don't think anything is going to happen next week. I don't think anything is going to happen with regard to the interest rates next week. I think next week, the meeting will happen on the 5th, the 6th. It'll be, nah. And I have to tell you, I don't know that dropping the rates in June would be smart. I don't know. Because we had a hot economy. Hey, Paula, thank you for letting me know that you invested in yourself. Tonight's question, Paula pops up and it reminds me. Tonight's question, who just shut down a $5 billion takeover offer from Ripple? Kraken, OKX, Coinbase, other. And if it's other, put it down below. I notice some of you people don't do that. That's not nice. Put it down below. I know at least one of you said other. Okay? Again, who just shut down a $5 billion takeover offer from Ripple? Kraken, OKX, Coinbase, other. Whew. So, yeah, GDP numbers came out. And, things didn't drop hugely. They just kind of fell down a little bit. I mean, Bitcoin's at 94,000. It didn't feel it at all. Oh, snap, Mr. Big, what's good? Did you invest in yourself today, young man? That's the big question. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know why people are freaking out. Well, they're probably freaking out because the stock market at one point was down over 550 points. So, yeah, that didn't make people happy. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So, it is. What else do we have going on? In the news, Visa will pilot stablecoin cards in 6 Latin American countries. Now, a couple of days ago, I told you about a similar kind of deal that MasterCard has. And yeah, it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Awesome sauce. Thank you, Rick Ritchie, for letting me know that you invested in yourself. Mr. Big, thank you for letting me know. That's what's up. So yeah, I mean, you've got the credit card companies trying to find really good ways to insert themselves in the middle of a transaction. I really, really, really need people to understand this. Blockchain technology is a network of computers already. Why do I need to insert another network in between? It's not like for me to send money from here to here, right, requires anything more than the one network. I don't need from here to here to here. I don't need that. Right? I don't need that at all. I need people to understand that because that's what makes our prices go higher. Interest rates on, the interest that you pay on things, it's not cool. Nice. But I'm not here to talk about coins. And Hutanic invested in himself today. That's what's up. Thank you for posting that on Big Baggers about Lace Wallet, integrating Bitcoin. It's going to be very important for wallets to actually be multi-chain. So it's not surprising that Lace Wallet would do that. Not surprising at all. Solana, Orca, and Superstate proposed Project Open to the SEC, a pilot for issuing and trading securities on public blockchains with programmable compliance and AML KYC controls. Take a deep breath. That's big. That's big. That's like really, really, really big. That would have reverberations going in a lot of places. Now, here's my only problem. Do I trust Solana to do that? Yeah, nah. Ripple, Hedera, Cardano. I mean, the list could go on. The list really could go on of a whole bunch of projects that I would choose before Solana. I'm just saying. They have not proven to me that they've gotten a handle on their tech yet. And you know what? The truth is that they could have. But the fact that they're not transparent about it, it's an immediate no for me. An immediate no. Thanks, but yeah, I'll catch this horse and buggy. Seriously, like, no, I don't see it. FIFA has, I was just reading along a while ago. They were on Algorand. They're creating their own blockchain based on EVM technology and dropping Algorand. Yikes. As if all Algorand can take another gut punch. Have you heard anything in the news about Algorand? And you know what? Let me look at my notes, see if I see anything else in the news about Algorand. Let's see. April 14th. Nope. Let's see. That's the Sunday roundup. Wow. November 18th. And they're just mentions. They're not even news. They're just mentions. I haven't heard any direct news about Algorand that's been positive since last year. And I mean direct news. I don't mean like, oh, they're doing something like this on Algorand. No. I mean direct. All the big players will have their on-chain and Rails. You meant their own chain and Rails. What do you mean by Rails? I need to understand that. For those of you that have ledgers, that have ledger devices, people are apparently receiving physical letters to look like it's coming from Ledger, saying that, yeah, we need your passphrase. Yeah, don't do that. It's not. First of all, it's not Ledger. But even if it was, don't do that. Why would you do that? No. Let's not play those games. No. Let's not do that. Something else, in that same space for scams. Our channel on YouTube, we get a lot of messages that are scams. They'd say, "Oh, that's a great show. I have an off-topic question. I'm trying to move some funds from one wallet to another wallet. I have my seed phrase." Don't ever try to use that seed phrase. It's a scam. It's a multi-signature wallet, and somehow, some way, they find a way to reverse things and take your money, take your assets. Don't do that. Do not do that. As a matter of fact, I think, we could do it some other time. But yeah, it's we get like a whole we've got some triggers in place that will try to move most of those messages over into the garbage. And we analyze that garbage to see, well, what are they doing that's the same, to try to pick out ways to further block them, right? And we'll get like 20 messages in a day using the same seed phrase. And then we'll kill it. The next day we'll get 20 with a different seed phrase. All they're doing is they just constantly create new wallets with multi-signatures, and bombard everybody. Because some idiot's going to try to use it. If it sounds too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Don't do it. Okay? Need you guys to be safe out there. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Just saying. So this is one of those things that I'm telling you guys so you can actually be awake about it. Coinbase filed a Supreme Court brief to arguing that the IRS's mass crypto data collection violates Fourth Amendment rights, urging modern protection against bulk digital surveillance. Yeah. Because what they want to do is they want to know about all of your transactions. So they want all of the centralized exchanges to make it so that they can monitor your transactions. Oh, why are they doing that? Yeah, because they're not going to be able to do it with stablecoins, because nobody wants a stablecoin. So they're trying to find backdoor ways to further encroach on your data sovereignty. Big deal. It's a very big deal. Yeah, I love when people have conversations that are too overly technical for the whole crowd. Nobody's going to understand that stuff. I do. I know what you're talking about. And Hutanik, you're correct. It is more like DNS than they are like Rails. But I was trying to get Rick Ritchie to have people understand Rails like Chainlink, Redstone, and DIA. Yeah, Rails are technical. Yeah, no, they're not Rails. They more like, here's where this is. They're more like the post office. Here's where this is. Send that over here. Get that over there. That's what they're doing. Just like DNS. DNS is like a post office. More efficient though. In most cases, more efficient. So that's one thing that Coinbase is doing, because they're like, yeah, they're violating, amendment rights, all that good stuff. Something else that they're doing is Coinbase may actually list Sam Altman's retina eye scanning stablecoin, WorldCoin. It's not definitive, but it could happen. Imagine. Yeah, I'm not getting involved with anything where you're trying to take a picture of my iris. Yeah, biosecurity. Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you. I mean, when you use Microsoft Hello, you're basically doing the same thing as taking a picture of your face. Some applications, they make you do the whole thing so they can get a more of a 3D image of your face, so that, and they do that so that somebody can't hold up a picture to pretend it's you. Yeah. There are flaws with all that technology. There are ways that you can beat it. Beat it soundly, as a matter of fact. Yeah, seriously. Vitalik Buterin is saying that, I just had to touch that up a little bit. Vitalik Buterin outlined major Ethereum upgrades for 2025, including faster finality, meaning faster transactions, privacy enhancements, stateless clients, and decentralized infrastructure following record network activity. I don't know how to say this. I don't know how many times I need to say it. I think I'm just going to say it as often as possible. You shouldn't really sleep on Ethereum. Everybody's projecting, this coin's going to be bigger than Ethereum. Highly possible, but you also have to say to yourself, it's not like Ethereum's going to stop growing. Yeah. It's not like Ethereum is going to stay stagnant and just roll over. Telling you, I think Ethereum is a sleeping giant. And it's slowly starting to wake up right now. That's what I see. That's what I see. I mean, did you hear the story this morning? $150 billion fund from BlackRock gonna be on, Ethereum. Let me see if I can get the whole thing. BlackRock filed to tokenize its $150 billion treasury fund. That's huge. Yeah. Don't sleep on Ethereum. Do not sleep on Ethereum. Ethereum is still doing a lot. Just look at the tech. Oh, the tech sucks, but I don't know. So many different projects run on that tech. Could you run on different tech? Maybe. Stitch is such a fatty. So obviously somebody got home and gave Stitch a snack. I had already given Stitch a snack. He already had a goodie. Now he's chomping down on another goodie. And he likes to chomp down on his goodies in my office. Because apparently it's not my office. It's his office, and he allows me to use it. It's hilarious. Tonight's question, don't forget, who just shot down a $5 billion takeover offer from Ripple? Kraken, OKX, Coinbase, or other? Just saying. I keep ETH for more than just gas. Ethereum was built like a house of cards. That's your take on it, not mine. I keep saying to people, as a technologist, I understand how this works, right? As a true technologist, I understand how this works. They didn't have a guide. Everybody else used Ethereum and Bitcoin as a guide to how they build their stuff. Just saying. And people choose not to pay attention to that. When they built their stuff, they didn't have that. The one good thing that they did was they made it so Ethereum can always be upgraded. Cool. Because you don't know what the future may bring. Well, the future brought some stuff. Well, that's why he's got a roadmap for upgrades for 2025. I don't know that that's a bad thing. It's funny. People are cracking jokes, but last I checked, Microsoft still has Windows, and it's still one of the most popular operating systems out there. Just saying. Because they can continue to upgrade. Frankly, Windows is a freaking miracle. Go do the research on the history of Windows. It's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. Right? It's a good story about connections, entrepreneurship, and coming from money to make money. Just saying. So yeah, there are a lot of things that are going on that we could be paying attention to. I do like the analogy though. It's like Windows 8. Yeah, Windows 8 sucked. Ooh. But the fact that they have some kind of a plan for going forward, I like that. I really, really, really like that. I'm still stuck on some of these international deals that are going on with the credit card companies. And the reason why I'm stuck on it is because, don't forget, credit card companies are part of traditional finance. And traditional finance right now is grasping. They are grasping. I mean, think about it. So Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, Charles Schwab, and a few others are slated to come out with their own platforms, their own crypto platforms by the end of this year. Cute, right? But most of them aren't going to be. They're not going to be able to do all the coins that everybody else can do. That's why that neobank that I told you about yesterday, Bunk. That's why them cutting a deal with Kraken to offer, crypto services is huge. It's huge. 8 Paws in the house. waiting, 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 waiting. So, pause. Did you invest in yourself today? I said I was waiting. What the heck? Come on, get with it. I know there's nothing wrong with your keyboard. You're supposed to start with that. You lead with that. Then you answer the question. Come on. But thank you for letting me know. So yeah, when I think about those transactions, I think the biggest adoption issue that we're going to have with educating people about crypto, really it gets reinforced in my head all the time. It really is going to be describing to them how a credit card transaction really works versus how crypto works. I think that's going to be the biggest one. That right there is going to be the biggest one, because people are like, oh, I use my debit card, my credit card, boop, boop, and I use somebody's network and yada, yada, yada. Not so great for bookkeeping, like at all. I mean, we were just discussing it the other day. If you do something on Friday afternoon, you're not going to see that transaction hit your account, even if it's cash, until like Monday. Crypto, it'll hit your account like right then and there. Big difference. Ripple, how do you figure Ripple is not on the same page as compared to Circle? Are you serious with that? You're joking, right? I know you're joking. You've got to be. What do you mean by that? We're allowed to disagree. We're allowed to disagree. Because I definitely disagree with that. Unless you mean it the other way, that, Circle's not playing the game at their level. Because Circle's not. I don't think Circle has that kind of money to just be able to say, oh, yeah, I don't see that. JP and BlackRock own Circle. You also forget so what? They own Circle, but that doesn't mean Circle has that. They own some shares of Circle. Yes, they invested in Circle. That's the better way to say it. They invested in Circle. You want to know who else does? Coinbase. And really ask yourself, why would Ripple want to buy Circle? USDC, RLUSD. What did we say the other day? You're going to see projects merging. I remember I had to eat my hat. Mr. Big, remember when I had to eat my hat? Because you said, well, imagine if Chainlink bought Pith. And I laughed at first. I was like, yeah, nah. And you kept talking. And I was like, wait a minute. He's got a point. That's a really interesting thing. Okay. I can see that happening. I had to eat my hat on that. Because he was right. Ripple's got deep pockets. They could do a lot of stuff. Ripple could go out there and buy like a lot of businesses. I gave you the example yesterday that Tether could go out there and buy a lot of businesses. Tether can truly turn things on their ear real fast. Real fast. Like, it would be crazy to see what they could do. I mean, like I said, every quarter, $4 billion profit. What? $4 billion in profit every quarter. More than $1 billion a month. It's like $1.333333 billion a month in profit. Didn't they just show off the other day that they have so much gold bullion? And you sit there and you're kind of like, so they invested in gold. What does that mean? Oh, that's an increasing value kind of deal. Wow. Some of these companies are rolling in money. Rolling. And I'm not even mad about it. They earned it. They had to get there somehow. They made it happen. Not mad at all. I think Rick Ritchie, I think you have it all wrong. Coinbase makes the most money off of Circle. They make more money off of Circle than anybody else because of their share of Circle. So the decision for Coinbase, it's a decision for Coinbase because the answer to the question really is it's Circle. Circle said no, it's not enough money. They're trying to get them to say no, you got to go away. If Circle had IPO'd already and Coinbase came with a number like that, they would legit have to consider it. They would legitimately have to consider it. Just saying. And I'm thinking that, BlackRock's not going to have anything to say. They're not. BlackRock's into investing in companies, having a little bit of say, just investing in a lot of companies. That's the game. 5 to 10% here, 5 to 10% there. We have enough of a say, enough of a sway. If we really want something done, we can get it done. But 9 times out of 10, we don't want to do anything. We just want you to go out there and make money for us. That's it. If we like your company, we chose your company, we gave your company money because we want you to keep making money. It's not hard to think about it like that. But when I look at a deal, actually, I might as well close that out. When I think about a deal with Ripple and Circle, wow. That kind of merger would justify antitrust action if there was any kind of jurisdiction that could do it. I don't think so. I don't think so. Right now, with everything that's going on, all the market manipulation that's being allowed under this new regime, I don't think so. You got the money? Oh, sure. All right. Because basically what they said is cut a bigger check. Straight face, go cut a bigger check. Let us know when your pocketbook's grown up. Toddle off. Captain Banana, what's good? Does anyone else in the chat own any... I'm not going to say that. But yeah, I don't know that it would justify, and there's no way in the world that Rick Ritchie, there's no way in the world that if that merger was to happen, that Circle would manage the money. Nope. No, sir. Nope. I think the more powerful company is absolutely Ripple. Absolutely Ripple, hands down. How did Circle get such a bad deal? What do you mean such a bad deal? $5 billion? We'll give you $5 billion. Gimme. Coinbase is like, no, that's a revenue stream. We don't want to give that up. They're trying to figure. I think there's a strong possibility that deal happens. I think there's almost a ridiculous possibility that deal happens. Does the check get bigger? Maybe. Maybe. But here's what's funny. Turns out Ripple has no plans on going IPO, right? Circle does have plans on going IPO. So there are entities that are saying, well, what's our payout if we go IPO? Yeah. What's our payout if we go IPO? How big does their check have to be? $5 billion. Start with $5 billion. No, it's not enough. How much you want? Because Ripple's making money. How much do you want? That makes you stop and think about that, right? Ripple makes money off of off of XRPL, the ledger itself. That could be a massive, massive deal. I meant it seems like Coinbase are the ones eating off Circle because they invested the most money, I believe. So yeah, a bad deal. Somebody had an idea, and they said, we need some backers for it, and Coinbase said sure. BlackRock said sure. JP Morgan, oh, we don't have anything to do with crypto. Sure. People wonder why I don't. Jamie Dimon heads JP Morgan. JP Morgan owns Chase Bank. You wonder why I don't trust banks. Out this side of his mouth, we don't do anything with crypto. This side of his mouth, they have Onyx, which changed their name to something else, forgot what it is. And then they're going to do deals like this. They're involved in Circle. Do you think a big deal doesn't happen without Jamie knowing about it? A direct deal, not a brokered deal. Not like they're cutting a deal for this client. No, this was their deal. Yeah. You don't think that goes by Jamie Dimon's desk? Come on. It's ridiculous. I meant, let's see, did I miss anything else? No. I'm thinking about what you're saying, Hutanik. They could absorb that. The new bill is written so that stablecoins in the United States or stablecoins that want to peg themselves to the U.S. dollar have to be backed by. You can do that if they're based in the United States, right? You have to have money or treasuries, preferably treasuries, just like you said. But at some point, somebody's gonna say like, what the hell do I want with U.S. debt? Are you serious? They're looking like they're not going to be able to pay this back. And you want me to be holding this? Frankly, I think it's another, they're just trying to find replacement suckers. Back in the day, holding U.S. debt meant something. It was like, oh yeah, we got this. But now you scratch your head and you kind of go, ooh, I don't know. Why is that? Well, $37 trillion in debt. The United States doing dumb stuff like not managing their expenses properly, continuing to drive debt up. Instead of coming up with a plan to decrease the debt, the plan on the table is to increase the debt ceiling. That's not working out well for my bags. I don't like that idea. No, sir. No, ma'am. It'll prop up the dollar as a reserve, but only internally. They're passing that off to, as they're I think they're trying to hedge against foreign entities dumping U.S. debt and making these people hold the debt instead of those people because they've got control over these people or more control over these people. Yeah, no. Back in the day when you were a kid, you're like, oh, I'll buy some bonds, bonds. I'm not trying to buy bonds. Yeah, I haven't heard how you can get rid of that $36 trillion in debt. I think it's 37 now, but how are you doing that? Oh, we're just going to raise the debt ceiling and give these tax write-offs, make these tax write-offs, permanent. Yeah, okay. All right. Rick Ritchie, why are you trying to make me pass out on camera, bro? That's not cool, man. That's take your butt to the corner, bro. I'm about to pass out. It's going to increase the debt by $7 trillion. And that's the low number. Some people are saying 10. Yeesh. with no plan on how to decrease the debt. You wonder why Hutanik and I go off about, yeah, I'm not trying to put my money in those kinds of things. I got put my money in Bitcoin and gold. Rely on the U.S. to pay off its debt? Yeah, I don't know. Ham's house, man, delete that. Delete that. Stop it. Delete that. We're talking about the actual policies. Delete that. Yeah, delete that. That's a political statement. No, not keep it. That's a straight up political statement. Take that off. We're talking about the policies. I mean, I want you to think about this. The policies, the debt that we're dealing with right now has traversed through several presidencies. The government has chosen not to do anything about it. So here we are, sitting on $37 trillion. And the next budget wants to raise it by another $7 trillion. How, people? How? When other countries went through austerity, and yeah, okay. When other countries go through austerity, they really are tightening their belts, and we have yet to learn that. We need to get over that arrogance because it's affecting the global economy. And Hutanik, I don't know what you mean by that, but yeah, no. If that's what it is, no, yeah, no. I'm talking about specific policies that affect our money. Those aren't political statements. So you can go whine in a corner about that stuff. So for me, I'm kind of like, yeah, no, I'm not. I can't fathom the idea. I cannot fathom the idea. And history shows that, remember what happened with the gold before? If you held gold, you had to give it to the United States government. Oh yeah, nobody remembers that. Yeah, my bad. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Knowing some history helps. It really, really does. So if I have extra money, it's not sitting in a bank. I'm calculating how much money I have to spend for the next couple of months. That's what they get to hold. That's it. Everything else, investing. I'm not trying to hold money in a bank. I don't trust banks. Read that. Nowadays when you set up a bank account, you get a digital copy of the contracts you have to sign, right? To open things up. Copy that, put it in the ChatGPT and tell it, give me the salient points from this contract that could possibly be seen as a downside for the consumer. Do that. You should do that with all your contracts. Go do that. You'd be surprised what you find out. And I mean with all of your contracts. All of your contracts. But this is why I tell you guys, you must do investment research every day. Not just some days, but every day. Minimum 15 minutes. And try not to do those 15 minutes in one sitting. Try to do a little bit now and a little bit later. I'm into sprinkle. So a little bit now and a little bit later. Why? Because you have news at this point and you have news at that point. Sprinkle. You'll pick up so much more information that way. You'll start to connect the dots. And as you connect the dots, you'll zoom out and you'll kind of be like, oh, that looks like a puppy. You start to see the bigger picture. You really start to see the bigger picture. And it's a bigger deal than you think to actually understand how value works. It's a really good understanding about how value works. At some point, I have to do some stuff about real estate because there are so many ways that people stick their hand in your pocket when it comes to real estate too. Those so-called reverse mortgages and stuff. Yeah. Be careful. Do a lot of research before you start thinking like that. Do a lot of research. I have all these people out here talking about, oh, you got to do a trust, you got to do this, you got to do that. Go talk to a trust and wills attorney. It's worth the money. Don't think that you're going to learn how to do a trust by speaking with a trust specialist or somebody. Oh, this person said I need to open up a irrevocable trust. Oh, this one I need a revocable trust, and this one. Go speak to a trust and wills attorney. There are a lot of services out there that do it all day long, and that's all they do. Go talk to one of those people when you want to open up trust to manage your businesses, to manage your home, to manage your investments. Because you don't want to pass away and the property is in your name, and then your house goes into probate, and your kids, that's a problem. It becomes a problem because the government wants more money. They want as much money as possible. It's already a scam that you think you own your home. You pay taxes every year. Dare you not to pay those taxes? Yeah, they'll take your house. You could have a fully paid for house. Don't pay those taxes and see what happens. So not recommended. There are certain things that you should go and you should speak to people. Get yourself a good CPA, a good tax accountant. Get yourself a good trust and wills attorney, right? To handle those kinds of things. You hear an idea from somebody, have somebody that you can pick up the phone and roll ideas off of. There are services out there where you can tap into a legal network and get answers. It's relatively cheap. It's worth it. Some of these things are actually worth it. Rick Ritchie, you know what? You're still in the corner. Now you're going to get put in the corner again because you're absolutely right. You rent your house from the government. What kind of nonsense is that? That somebody owns their house outright. You buy the house. You're still paying taxes. Everybody's paying taxes. You never own your house. In the United States, you never actually own your house. In Europe, there used to be a thing where, okay, sure, you can own the house, but you don't own the land. You get like a 100-year lease. It's not really yours. Was that 2 or 3 generations? Seriously? Yeah, nah. You got to think about things. The same way we talk about crypto and stocks and all that good stuff, you got to be thinking about things for the long haul. Because I don't want you to find out that, you have a business and you did a trust and you put your business in a trust and you try to do that cascading thing and you go to find out you get sued and we're just going to sue this one because it owns everything else. If you're doing something to protect yourself, to protect your value, do it right the first time, because it's a hell of a lot more expensive to have to redo it. A hell of a lot more expensive. Sort of like building a house from scratch. If there's something that you want, you better do it now and don't take that mindset of, oh, well, if we want that later, we could always put it in. It's way more expensive when you do that. Way more expensive if you do that. So when I look at things in terms of where is it happening? How is it happening? How is it going to affect me? So back to the credit card thing. So you have Visa and MasterCard cutting these deals around the world to insert themselves as middlemen, middle people into transactions. But the more you learn that I don't need to tap into your network, it's literally going from the blockchain network to them and then over to whoever you're buying stuff from. Why? Oh, because they wanted cash? Then what's the point of saying that you accept crypto then? You don't accept crypto. MasterCard's accepting crypto. You're still taking cash. You're still taking fiat. And there'll be some businesses out there that's what works for them. Me, I'm not trying to send my money over to MasterCard. Oh, and that's the other part. For you to use that card, that's their way of collecting, maintaining the collection of data. That's how they do it. Oh, Eddie went to the store and he bought gas and a bag of chips. I mean, my fat behind, I don't need chips. So, but you know what I mean? He bought gas and a bag of chips. I buy that with crypto. Somebody paid for a certain amount. And then I have to go to that business to see, oh, what did they buy? What did they buy? It's not tied into the transaction. That's like a really big deal. When you use your credit card, the credit card company gets a copy of what you bought. They know they get that itemized list. But when you do crypto, it's I gave some money over here. And they can bang out a receipt and give you your receipt. But then the only two entities that know about your transaction are only you and that store. As opposed to you, that store, Visa, and all of their pals. Yeah. Acquire assets that have buyers is rule number one. Advertise your business. If they click the ad, they get a micro payment of BTC, new era coming. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know who's doing that. Let me stop and think about that. That could be something that happens, but I don't know who's doing that now. But I don't have to have somebody else. This is what I mean by user sovereignty. It's in the first book. No, it's strategy. There's no company MicroStrategy. It's strategy. Getting old and forgetful, huh? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? You didn't have your barbecue tonight? Is that what happened? I'm bug you about your barbecue until I get some. Just saying. But yeah, I mean, nobody knows about your transaction when you do Bitcoin. I mean, when you do crypto to pay for something. There's no third party that's snatching data. People don't understand that, yes, they make a ton of money off of the credit card transaction. They make another huge bag of money doing that data grab. A huge amount of money doing that data grab. So yeah, I need you to do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Because the more you know, the safer you are. Because it's not about how much money you make. It's what Uncle Steve says. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep. And your user sovereignty, your data, no matter what people tell you, your data is money. Your data is money. Do you want to know something else that's mad cool? When I use crypto to go buy something at a store, whether it be online or whatever, they know who they shipped it to, but they don't know for sure that that's the person that bought it. It could have been a gift. It just got shipped there. If I go into a store and I buy something with crypto, they know that they received a certain amount of money for certain products or services. They don't know anything else. They know nothing else. Think about that. That's a wow moment. You want to know something else that's mad cool about crypto? You've got kids. You can have a shared wallet. You could have a shared wallet. And you could teach them how to manage their money. Because using crypto, you're using the equivalent of cash, right? You either have it or you don't. And you get to dole out how much they have. Oh. And it's simpler. It's freaking awesome. It's freaking awesome. And there'll be other services that'll pop up. There'll be other services out there that will pop up and they'll be like, well, these addresses are tied to this store. These addresses are tied to this store. And those stores will be happy to let people know what their addresses are. They'll be happy to do it. Going back to Hutanik's idea for advertising, right? They'll be happy to do it. Not a problem. So then you can have a wallet that ties those stores to purchases. You don't necessarily know what got purchased, but you know where it got purchased and how much money was spent. Get funky. You could actually create a receipt that comes across on your wallet that says, oh, this is what was purchased. It's not tied to a person. It's just tied to an address. That address is not necessarily tied to anybody. Yeah, imagine. It's a lot easier. Yes, you can give credit cards to your kids. All of that data that they're doing, everything that they're doing goes to a third party and all their cronies. It's not just that you're giving data to a credit card company. You're giving data to the credit card company and everybody they do business with. Think about it like that. There are companies out there that finish paying off PPP loans. And you know what's going on right now? The biggest scam? Every company out there that did a PPP loan is now all of a sudden receiving all kinds of spam for more loans. Where did you get the PPP loan from? Big banks. So the big banks sold your data, or somehow somebody got your data. And there you go. This is why I tell you guys, you just do your own research. Even if you say, okay, I'm interested in this space. Remember last night I was telling you guys, Hutanik was like, oh, I got in on some DIA. Mr. Big got in on some DIA. Great. And we broke down DIA. That's awesome sauce. That's awesome sauce. But I told you how I would evaluate DIA. I'm not evaluating necessarily DIA outside of its sector. I'm evaluating DIA within its sector to see if it fits that criteria. And then I can look at it against my current bags, my current slots. Research is king. Knowledge is everything. That's your value. The more knowledge you have, the more value you have to yourself and yours. Just saying, just putting that out there for you. Just putting that out there for you. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes. Definitely tell your friends about us. And if you're not a big bagger, yeah, we've got a big bagger meeting coming up a week from Sunday. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about a lot of things. And if you're not a big bagger, you can't take part in that big bagger video conference call. But if you are a big bagger, or you want to be a big bagger, even better, if you want to be a big bagger, go to growmybag.tv/sign-up. Become a big bagger. And you'll be in on that call. Live call facilitated by yours truly. And we talk about a lot of stuff. We share a lot of information. A lot of useful information. The way we broke down DIA yesterday, that's just a piece. That's just a piece. So anyway, everybody, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And as always, thank you for your trust. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.